Brandon Williams. This is Jack Kerstetter from Office CAD and Mapping, and our intern Justin Smith is with us, and also Kyle Ince is joining us, and our intern Connor Bingham will be joining us as well. So we're going to run through some ProjectWise numbers. We're going to dive into some of the updates that came out with the recently deployed ProjectWise client, the 3.434 client. And then we've got some couple other additions that Brandon's been working on, a menu item and an issue we discovered with the ProjectWise client, and we'll be talking about how we're going to push out a new client. So Brandon, take it away.
Thank you, Jack. All right, welcome to June 29th ProjectWise webinar. It's going to be a fairly quick one. We're going to go through some recent things that have been updated that everyone should have. And we talked about this back in January, but we just want to remind people of some updates that came in the new ProjectWise update. So first, we're going to do some quick statistics. Since our last webinar, the number of documents have actually increased almost 12,000, and our document size is increased by 104 gigabytes. So that's kind of cool to see. Folders, we've had almost an increase of 40,000 folders, and we have 42,000 number of folders and 365 work areas in that regards. And the populated folders, we have 5,025 as a difference. Okay, so those numbers are increasing every day. When it comes to references, there's a difference of 1,900 references. So almost 2,000 files have had references attached to them since our last webinar, which is a huge difference. And when it comes to users, we've increased almost 60 since our last webinar. The number of groups, we have 6, and the maximum users per group is increased quite significantly. Okay. Users login for the month of I put March. This should be May. We have the top 10 list there of users who've logged in the most since May. Okay. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to go over some quick ProjectWise updates. Again, we've talked about this in the past in our January webinar, but we just want to refresh users' minds of some of the differences that came with the ProjectWise update. So the first thing that you'll probably notice when opening ProjectWise with the new update is the filtering capability. So before, we didn't have a way to filter. You had to do an advanced search or a basic search to look for your documents. The filtering options allows you to quickly, especially with big projects like this one, you can see the scroll bar itself is pretty small, which means there's a lot of documents in this folder here. You can start typing into the name filter, and it's going to narrow down those documents through a wildcard search. So we have more of an Excel advanced search capabilities here, which makes it easier to find documents. And it's not just a name that you can search off, but it could be any kind of property that you have in your view. So another one is our PDF markups. This was a ProjectWise web capability. It has come to ProjectWise Explorer as well. If you right-click a PDF, you'll have a PDF markup in your right-click menu there. And you're just going to go ahead and sign in. It does take you through the Connect portal, but instead of using the Connect project portal, it takes you directly to that PDF. So here we have that PDF opening. And there's some basic capabilities that come with the Bentley markup tool. So here you can see in the top right users that are actually logged into this PDF. From this perspective, it's just me. Here you can also do annotations, create shapes. So if you want to do like a clouded shape, you can. You can insert images, signatures, do measurements. So there's some basic tools that come with the Bentley markup PDF option. So I'm actually going to stop the PowerPoint here just briefly, and we're going to actually look at that in person. So here I have a connected project. And one of the PDFs that I want to look at is this district-wide plan set. You can see it's not checked out to anybody, but I can go ahead and open this PDF. This is through the web interface. I can see that there's already 3 users that are logged into this PDF. So now we have simultaneous access to this PDF where we can mark up the document. So as I cloud the sheet, it should show up on the other user's screen as well. So if others were to draw on this sheet, then it will populate for me as well. You can keep track of issues that have been assigned. So you can see that I created a cloud there. So you can see that I have assigned it. You can see Justin's making circles, several squigglies, circles, and it can quickly highlight the markup that was associated per user. We're not going to get into it right now, but you can also create issues to users on the project for them to look at, fix, and resolve that issue. But we're not going to take a look at that. Looks like we got an approval on this one, so we'll go ahead and continue. Oops, pressed the wrong button, but that's okay. We got fast fingers. Okay. Another one is to create links. So I can right-click a document and get a link for that document, and you're going to have a dialog that populates. And under our advanced section here, we have the ProjectWise Explorer link, we have ProjectWise Web link, and Microsoft Teams. So if you have a connected project, you can create a link to the web. So if you want to share that with web users, you can. If people have it added to Microsoft Teams, they can send a link through there too. So there's 3 ways to get to your data. It's just how do you want to link it. So here I did a ProjectWise Explorer link. So I'm going to copy and paste that into my web browser and log in just like I would if I were to send this link to an external user or internal user. Now you should get this prompt. You just click ProjectWise Explorer, and there's a toggle there. So if you don't want to see this dialog anymore, you can check that on and then hit open in ProjectWise Explorer. Okay, and it's going to take you to that folder with that document that you linked to highlighted. Okay. So some ProjectWise updates that we're currently going to make over this weekend. This one can actually be done whenever. So this is something that we've added, which is an ODOT menu. So here's the top of ProjectWise Explorer. If you click it, there's several options that you can choose from. We have our plan vault, which is the one off our iDrive with the construction plans. We also have the Workset Creation app. This is a quick link to the Workset Creation app, so you can easily get to it. I know it's pretty deep in the folder structure, so this makes it a lot easier to launch. Another suggestion we got was show and hide document versions. I don't know if it was the one before or the webinar before that, but we did talk about document versions. Instead of going into tools, options, user options, and changing your settings, you can easily do that through the OHDOT menu to show and hide document versions. So just some quick access there. We also have links to the web plan vault and ORO web as well. So you can always click on this link to get there if you ever forget that URL. I also added a sub menu here called new. I had some users ask about, right-clicking and creating an Excel file or right-clicking and creating a text file notepad. So here, if you have a folder selected and go to new, you can choose an Excel, doc file, or TXT. I can add more depending on the need. But this menu is completely customizable. We can add whatever functionality you think would be useful. So I am interested in what you guys would like to see, and if so, you can send that to me in an email or form stack, and maybe I can get that added here for you guys all to use. So keep that in mind. If there's anything that you want up there, just let me know. Another suggestion we had from a couple people in different districts was moving the project when a county changes in Ellis. Okay, so we're talking about the primary county. I know some projects might expand multiple counties. But when the primary county does change, many people have asked about moving that project to the county, and if there's a way to do that. So there is going to be this weekend, we're going to launch a script. Essentially what it's going to do is email/notify that project manager of that project, and it's going to send them an email. This is an older image, so it's going to look maybe slightly different, not too different, of what it's going to look like. It's going to essentially tell you your project PIN number. It's going to say the project number. It's going to say where it's moving it from. So you can see this project was in District 12, Lake County, and it's being moved to the statewide folder. So this is going to be triggered when the primary county in Ellis changes, okay? And it is going to be a clickable link to your project for easy access. Another issue that this is actually an issue that was submitted to us in a form stack, I believe, where users were creating a project with the Worksite Creation app, and they were looking at the results. And what they got here is a few errors when creating a connected project. So you can see this error. This is actually from the results page that they sent us. So we did find out what the issue was. It was a connection client install. So it took a lot of digging, but we just figured if we reinstall a connection client, it would work, and it did. So something about the push on connection client didn't go as well as planned, but that looks like the only thing that was affected was the Worksite Creation app in creating connected projects. We've been working with ECT about getting a build pushed for a newer connection client. There is a newer connection client out. So we will be pushing that out. What do you think, Jack? This weekend, or do we have a plan for that?
Yeah, we hope to push it out this weekend. We've got the snow package. We tested it, so we should be pushing it out to everyone this coming weekend. So it will require a reboot afterwards. So if your machine has not been rebooted, you may see an issue initially, and then a restart will typically fix snow package push issues. So look for that coming next week. Should have it on your machine.
Thank you, Jack. So unfortunately, you guys don't have to listen to me anymore. Sorry about that. But I did want to take this opportunity for any questions. Keep in mind, we haven't really got any requests on webinar topics. So if you guys have something that you'd like us to present on, please send that our way so we can get that presentation made for the next webinar we have. But as of right now, that's all we have. Do you guys have any questions, any discussions that you guys want to talk about?
We got a question here.
How do you use the get link option for Teams? The option is grayed out for me. Good question. So the reason the Teams is grayed out is because it hasn't been connected through Teams. So in the example I showed, there was a ProjectWise Explorer, there was a ProjectWise Web, I forget what the term was, and then there was a Teams. So you won't get that ProjectWise Web one unless it's a connected project, right? So let's say the project starts in ProjectWise Explorer. It's just a project, so that's the only link you get. If we create a connected project, which is that kind of blue and green icon, and we associate it, you have to do both, which we all do through that Worksite Creation app, and it's checked on by default. So if you're not checking that off, then you should have a ProjectWise Web one as well. And that will show up. Now, the reason we don't have Teams is because we don't have, so in the bottom left of Teams, there's this apps. We actually just got, it looked like an update because there's more options there. But essentially you need to have ProjectWise installed as an app on Teams. Once that's done, you could work in your project in Microsoft Teams like you do with your chat and your Teams, or it'll be under your Teams, but you'd have that project and it kind of look like the ProjectWise Web GUI. So of course that's not ideal for designers to work in teams, but if you want to quickly open up an Excel file or PDF, Word document, text file, whatever it might be, that would be nice. However, in our organization, we don't have the ProjectWise apps installed in Teams. So maybe in the future, we can. I submitted a ticket for that a few months ago, and they said that they weren't doing apps and Teams yet, since we are, just now transitioning to Teams. We just got Skype uninstalled a couple months ago. So eventually we'll have that in Teams, and it won't be grayed out. But that's the reason why.
Question there about
Brandon, I have one real quick, if you would. You and I had talked probably a month ago about moving projects as we file stuff and kicking it over into the next step and put finalized and filed, and then stuff moving to the sold projects eventually. You said that you guys had gotten rid of that capability for now. Is that coming back anytime soon, or what are we looking at for that?
Which capability again are you talking about?
It's just when we file a project where we go through in the contracts and do the whole right click and go to the next state thing to where it shows up as finalized instead of still active.
Gotcha. Yeah. So we're working with estimating. We did have something implemented, but the letting schedules changed. We haven't reactivated that workflow and state options and contracts back yet. We're kind of waiting on estimating to give us the thumbs up to switch over. We will have some videos for you guys as well that you could watch, and it's going to be pretty cool. But as of now, yeah, that's not taken in place. I'm not really sure when that will be in place. I'm hoping this year. But we're just waiting on estimating to essentially give us a thumbs up. We'll do some testing with them, and then hopefully implement that.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Will the GenSum Excel be able to link to PW files without having to check them out? Looks like JD said no. He does not have time to update it. Is the ability to attach a file located inside ProjectWise to an Excel file inside ProjectWise anything that we will be able to do soon? Gotcha. Good question. We've also tested that. I'm assuming you mean like creating functions in Excel to point to other Excel files that are in ProjectWise, right? Because right now it is looking at the working directory. We did submit a ticket to Bentley, what was it, a month or two ago. There was already a defect filed before we submitted it. They did say they are looking to fix that soon. I don't know if that's going to be in the next release of ProjectWise. They haven't really given us an exact date, but they are working on that capability to link Excel files within ProjectWise. And they will link through the GUID, which is nice. So if you rename that Excel file or move it, it doesn't break your function or formula. So.
The specific question was embedding the file inside the Excel sheet. But yeah, we submitted a ticket on that, Jamie, just to let you know.
JD's surprised I didn't talk about Drive.
next time.
Maybe next time. When it's hopefully out of early access.
Actually, it's released. Came out today.
Did it?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Maybe that's what he's asking about.
That's good news. So Drive is out, released today. So it's no longer in early access. So we've presented on Drive before. We've talked about it. We're going to do some trainings with some users, some groups. Maybe that'll be our next webinar topic. is more built around ProjectWise Drive. We just got an update of the software like 2 days ago or something. It looks like it's out of early access in general, so we can start installing that. It did work well in our environment. So if you guys are interested in getting ProjectWise Drive, we can come up with a time to deploy that and get you guys trained on using it.
Any other questions out there about ProjectWise or coming updates or anything you'd like to see? As Brandon said, you know, if you have a suggested topic, you know, send us an email or you can throw it in form stack or just get it to us and we'll put something together. Specific training that you might be looking for, or just something we could put in a video that would be useful. Let us know about that. We'll put something together for that too.
Hey, Katie, are you on this call?
They're kind of in the form stack, so.
So I know you're one of very few. I pushed out the OHDOT menu. Has it been useful? Is there anything that you'd like to add? Do you find it beneficial to have that?
Yeah, I actually just used it today to create a Word document, and it was awesome.
Nice.
I can't think of anything else that needs added at the moment, but I will certainly let you know. I really appreciate it. My right-click ability, losing that was terrible, so this is a good substitute.
Yeah, that's why I added it. I remember you talking about that in a previous meeting that we've had or discussion, so I wanted to add that. But I thought Word, Excel, and text were the three main ones. I doubt you're making PowerPoints and ProjectWise, and I did not pay Kate to say that, guys. So just so you know. But yeah, if you guys want to see anything else in that OHDOT menu, let us know. I can push it out to your machine. You don't have to be logged off or anything. It's a pretty simple push. So if you guys want that, I can push that out. It might be something in the future we add to a standard build, so you might get it anyways. But if you want it now, just let us know.
Tom asked about PDF markup video.
Looks like Tom volunteered to make up a video for PDF markups. Thank you, Tom. No, yeah, we'll definitely get something out there. It is pretty nice to have. It is very simplistic. It doesn't have all the capabilities Bluebeam has, but it does have some nice features to it. So we'll get a video. Maybe one of the interns will do it. Get that video out there for you.
You didn't show the download to get the markups.
Should we share the download?
If you want to.
Oh, look, Tom even. So this PDF is in ProjectWise, and I can download it. It's.
I'm going to show them like the XFDF file that you get.
Yeah, I can do that.
I have a question.
So to kind of show you how, let me refresh this, how the Bentley markup tool works. It's not actually editing the PDF itself. It's creating an overlay file, essentially with the markups. So it's pretty nice because it works well with the issues resolution portion that we didn't really show, but essentially we showed that in the past. Essentially what that is just a GUI dashboard for you to keep track of markups. So if you have a lot of markups on a plan set, that's essentially what that is. So here, I'm going to expand this. So here's the PDF that we had opened. And what it does, when you make your first markup, it creates this XFDF, which is essentially the markups themselves. So if I open up the PDF, anything in this flag over here, this is the issues or markups that have been added. Once it loads, so I can click on this and point to all this. So this is all in an XFDF file, right? So if I look at this PDF, if I delete the XDF and then I look at the PDF, all these markups will be gone. But you can download this with the markups just by clicking the settings button there and opening that file. So now I have these markups in there. You can also do, you can also do a download with summary, and I'll have that. Maybe look at my downloads. And what it does is it adds the, that's not it, is it? Thought it would open. There it goes. It'll download all the markups attached to it. Oh, okay. That's all. I guess I'm wrong. You need to create an issue for that to happen. Interesting. Okay. But yeah, there's two ways to download it with summary. So if I've added issues, then and assigned them, then it'll say like attach a paper at the end of those issues and those markups. But that's what it looks like. Yeah, I agree, Tom. PDF markup is very simplistic and easy. It's not overwhelming. Bluebeam is great. It does have a lot of stuff to it. It does some really cool things, but it definitely requires training because when you open that thing, it has 100 different toolbars. Simply why I don't like using Bluebeam for viewing documents. I usually use Adobe because it's quick, quick and easy, something I've been using for years. But the PDF markup tool that Bentley's provided is really unique. Adds some basic functionality for project managers with the issue resolution piece, which we can show that again sometime if you're interested. So I definitely agree with you there, Tom. Can you key in shortcuts for markup commands in ProjectWise? Is that a Bluebeam function?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything like that. Like keyboard shortcuts for Place Cloud or something like that. Not that I know of. Yeah, I don't think there's any shortcut capability. Yeah, I don't know that there's any shortcut capability. We've never even looked at that. We can check into that. I doubt it. It's pretty, it's pretty basic markup type capabilities. Somebody asked about it, using it for combining. Yeah, it doesn't have any like stapler or something like that, like Bluebeam does. It doesn't have that sort of functionality. So it's really just markups, kind of like the PDF reader has markup. It's built along those lines. So it's not a full.
Yeah.
It's not a full featured PDF editing tool by any means.
No, it's very, like I said, it's very simplistic. It doesn't have all the things Bluebeam has, like the stapler and all that. And I don't think you can delete pages. This tool is centralized around I would say project management and markups, right? So like if I zoom in here, I can underline if it's OCR, which this one's not that I added, but you can underline, strike out, you know, your annotations. You can create squares and clouds. So it's simplistic stuff. Signatures, images, stamps.
So I'd like to just kind of add, this capability is the markup capability. So we're not comparing it like to Bluebeam Review. We're comparing it to like Bluebeam Studio with the cloud markup sessions that you can have. By no means are we saying that this is equivalent to Bluebeam Review or Bluebeam Extreme.
Oh no, yeah.
So I think that we're lumping all of Bluebeam together from the chat that I'm reading here, and I think that might be why there's all these comments coming in. Those are kind of different. I don't think this would never trigger IT to like go and say we're using markups over Bluebeam. That's not even going to happen.
Yeah, no, that's not our goal either. So
it would never happen. I mean, you can't really compare it in that way. Same thing with like the Bluebeam stapler to do your combining and things like that. So. I think we all agree Bluebeam is a great product. We're not trying to say not to
no,
use
it's a wonderful product. Yeah, it definitely, you definitely need to know the product. Like if I had my interns open Bluebeam and I said delete a page, mark up a page, create a multi-page PDF, they'll be there for a little bit trying to figure it out. Versus Adobe or whatever you want to compare it to. But yeah, Bluebeam is definitely a great product for. Actually, I use it to create multiple page PDFs and TIFFs and all that quite often. Yep, summary of comments. Yeah, so that's kind of what this download summary is. But yeah, the summary of comments is pretty cool as well with Bluebeam. A lot of functionality with Bluebeam. Any other questions?
So any the CAD people that are watching this, just a plug that tomorrow we have a webinar on special benching. So I'll post the calendar invite in the chat if anyone is interested in that or doesn't have it yet.
You taking over our meeting, JD?
Oh, you betcha. I'm putting in the plug.
All right, how do we kick him? Yeah.
That's right. Tomorrow, another CAD webinar, so please check it out. If there's any more, we'll hang on the line for a little bit here if there's any more questions. So otherwise, thanks for your time today. And if you think of something later, ProjectWise related, please let us know. We'd be glad to present on it or look into it for you. Thanks to everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Brandon, this is Chrissy Warner. Is there, right now when we're doing up our estimates and our projects, using Estimator, we are having to save it in ProjectWise and then like save it out somewhere else, open it, edit it, save it, put it back in ProjectWise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the way we're supposed to be doing that, or is there some way to make those two work together that we're not aware of?
We kind of mentioned it earlier. Well, I didn't really mention Estimator, but I mentioned ProjectWise Drive, and I think that's going to be best for any non-associated applications with ProjectWise. Like ProjectWise is integrated with Office. That's why you get the ProjectWise tab. It's also integrated with Bluebeam. So those are all integrated, but there's some applications that aren't, such as Estimator, CDSS, a lot of hydraulic stuff. ProjectWise Drive. Hey, am I on this machine? Let's see. We actually tested. We had someone, I forget who, but we actually had someone test Estimator in ProjectWise Drive. So essentially, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
So this is ProjectWise Drive. It essentially it puts your project on File Explorer. So this is, you know, how you get to your iDrive and whatnot. This is actually the project that we were messing with in the demo. But if I think it's an EST extension, correct?
Yes, EST.
Yeah, so if I come in here and double click, trying to find something that's not integrated, I don't think I have anything. But essentially, what I'm using here is my Windows associations, right? So you're using Estimator on Windows. So if I go to file extensions, these, wow, what? That's something we all love to see. Interesting. Maybe I looked at the wrong thing. We have our default apps, right, in Windows, and we do that by file type as well. So EST is automatically going to Estimator for you, right, because you have Estimator installed on your machine. So this is a Windows association. So Windows has already written, you know, an association with a lot of different products. So you can see I don't have Estimator on here, but if you went to EST somewhere, I don't even know if that's going to show up here, but yeah, it doesn't look like it is. We should have EST, and it should point to Estimator. ProjectWise Drive is using your Windows association, so you could double-click a file, open it up in Estimator.
Okay.
That's essentially it. Another thing, like Adobe, right? Adobe's not integrated with ProjectWise, but I could do a file save as. Let's go to. Let me look for something that. Let's just open this. I could do a file save as, and I had my project right here, right? So Adobe's not integrated with ProjectWise, so I didn't get a ProjectWise login. I didn't get a ProjectWise search dialog. I got a file explore dialog. So here I can go into my project and save it in 99 Scratch, give it a name, and save it. And that's going to save it inside in ProjectWise. So people using ProjectWise Explorer will see it, people in web will see it, people in Drive will see it. So it's all set in stone there.
And same would be like with OneNote, we could use OneNote in that same way.
Yeah, I don't use OneNote on. Well, I do use OneNote, but I've always opened OneNote and used the cloud. So I guess I've never used a OneNote worksheet or whatever they call it. But I would assume it'd work the same way. And if you want to test that for us, we can get this installed on your machine, and you can test that out for us. But
Sure.
my answer is yeah, I'm 99% sure. I'll give that 1% failure, but.
And then just one more question. Is there a way whenever I open ProjectWise to have it as far as my my files listed on the left side? Is there a way to have it keep a file path that it automatically opens to?
So it should, whatever you last clicked on, so this is the folder pane, right? So when I click on a folder over here, it should keep that in memory. So let me like log out. Where am I at? District 3. If I log out, and open the projects, it should go to the District 3 project I had highlighted. See, if it doesn't, then there's probably an issue with your cache, which is a very easy fix. Maybe I can add that to the OHDOT menu.
If you expand the tree by the plus signs though and don't select the file,
Yeah. So if I come in here
you don't pick anything.
and start selecting things over here, I don't think it's gonna save. A great tip in ProjectWise is hit the pluses as much as possible because it loads a lot faster. Because when I click on this folder, it's gonna go through and read the documents, read the folders. I guess that was bad.
But I think if you just click the pluses and you never select
Yeah.
a folder, it doesn't save that then.
Okay.
Click a folder to make it save.
But if it is having issues, I gotta find where it's at, but I think it's. I can send this path to you. It's been like forever since I had to do this, but I'll send you the path. There's like essentially these cache folders. I don't even think it's in that one. I think it's in maybe roaming. Let's see. Cache, here it is. It creates these cache folders. All you have to do is delete them, and then it'll start caching where you've been.
Okay.
So if you need help with that, maybe I can add this to that menu. So clear cache, that'd be a quick one. It's a nice addition.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Hey, Brandon.
Yeah.
Just a note on estimators. You can't double click on an estimator file. You got to open estimator and then
I
do a
forget
file open.
Which folder that
which
was.
is the main reason why.
Yeah.
Why it can't be integrated with ProjectWise. So.
See, I think we had that issue with another hydraulic. Hydraulics use quite a bit of homegrown applications.
They use CDSS.
Yeah, and then something else. What was it?
HY8.
HY8, and there was 4 of them. I don't remember what they were, but one of them was you had to open the program and then browse to the actual
That was probably
file.
CSS.
Yeah, and it sounds like estimators the same way. But that's how you would do it with Drive. But the reason, I mean, Bentley would have to write an association for every file type, which is very difficult to do and very time consuming. So I think that's why Drive came out, to make it easier for them, because they're just using Windows associations. So whatever you have installed on your machine. Anything else? Not sure if everyone fell asleep or not, but guess we'll find out, right?
Minutes.